Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Ryder Sigety. I'm a GNCC racer, and this is the round 2 of the GNCC 2023 series, Wild Boar in Palatka, Florida. I am an AmPro factory support off-road racer, and I'm also a 3-time national GNCC champion. And today I had some good battles. With me today talking on the video will be my dad, Mike.
Hello everyone, you can just call me Ryder's dad when you see me.
And this was a very interesting race. As you see, I got off to not the best start. I was trying to be conservative, and I ended up in 5th. And it was really hard to pass at this race because it was really tight and hard to see around corners, good lines, and really sandy. But I ended up making my way up and having some good battles and falling back a couple times too, so make sure you guys stay to watch these battles. Right there you just saw someone on the ground that I passed, or getting up from the ground, starting their bike. We're only about a minute into the race and I'm already catching people on the road ahead of me, which, I don't know, I feel like that's really fast to already be catching people.
So, in case you don't know, this is the toughest race on the GNCC series. This sugar sand is really, really tough on bikes, and that's why you're seeing people falling like almost immediately into the race, because it'll just take your front end and throw you on the ground. You'll come around a turn and there'll be somebody laying in the ground and you didn't know they were there, and it'll just force you to make an extreme move. So hats off to all the kids who finished. I know a lot of kids didn't finish. Heat exhaustion, ran out of gas. You'll see soon there were some big issues with gas for people.
Right here I make the pass from 5th into 4th, and now I'm in 4th. And I actually kind of like cut in between 2 people there. I don't know, I thought that was kind of like an interesting pass. It's a little bit sketchy, but I made it work.
Right, so Ryder eventually does work his way up to 1st and then falls back again, and you'll see that transpire, so stay tuned to see that.
So since I got such a bad hole shot and I started in 5th, I had to now catch up to the leaders that were making time on me as I was behind people. And right here you see in front of me, I've caught up to 3rd, but I haven't passed him yet, and 2nd and 1st are way ahead of him. So it's gonna be tough to catch up to them also.
Yeah, so you can see there is room for 2 bikes here, but it's so sandy that the bikes are getting pushed left and right quite frequently by accident. So unless somebody's gonna let you go, you're going to have a very hard time passing. The only 2 really spots to pass are when they come near the scoring area, you'll see that in a minute, and one open field area. And Ryder actually has his drink system mounted into his helmet, and he said those were the only 2 spots on the track that he could actually just push it from his chin to his mouth, because it's mounted in the helmet. It was that brutal.
Yeah, you see, I'm trying to get around him. The GoPro doesn't do justice to see how close I am to him, but I'm trying my best. And we come around in a few corners here. I think you're actually here next corner. Yeah, my dad, Mike, you'll see him on the left, cheer me on, tell me to go get him right there. So we come around this corner, and it's really sandy, and the person in 3rd, he tucks the front end and falls. You see it in slow-mo right there. Thankfully, he didn't do that like a foot or 2 sooner, because then he might have hit his head on that tree or something, and that wouldn't have been good. So as I round this corner, the next corner, there's a down rider, and it's really hard to see with all the vegetation. Like, I didn't know he was there, and I almost hit him, which was a little scary, but thankfully no one got hurt. I think it's gonna have a problem one day with that. And right here, I take a pretty good line in the right of to the right of this turn, and once again, just trying to make up time on the leaders.
So in a moment you'll see we're coming up to the open area where you could make a pass, or you could get a drink if you needed it.
Right here, I tried to pass the kid and I passed him, and then I took a really bad line over that log. I saw that when we were, I saw that earlier, like the day before, but I don't know what I was thinking taking that line. Yeah, so right here, come out of the woods, and that kid let me go, thank you. And we just have this one long straightaway, and this was probably the flattest part on the whole course. This was like a break. I love that section. It was my favorite part of the course. it was like, and then you're right back here into the sand whoops, and the camera again doesn't really show how whooped it out it was. And this is only the second lap, or no, the first lap. So right here, I start to catch up to the first and second in my class. In first is Mason Sakanikas, and who you just saw pass the gas rider in front of me. That was Lincoln Bishop. So now I'm in third. They're getting away from me because I'm stuck behind the gas rider. No fault to his own. But I don't get around them until after we get out of this section. But I know that I can catch them since I just made up time on them. So it kind of lit a fire in me. And now I know I'm going to catch them. Right here, I make the turn around him. I got a little sketchy there, though. We kind of clipped handlebars, but now I'm on the hunt, and there's nothing really in my way at this point.
It must be really nice to be on the front rows where you kind of have open course for a couple laps before you start lapping people.
Yeah, I definitely had a lot of people to pass on the first lap. And on the first lap, too, not a lot of people want to let you go. I mean, I get it. You just started your race. You don't want to pull over and slow down at all. You're locked in.
So at the end of the race, end of the video actually, if you watch and see Ryder on the podium, it's a little hard to tell, but his shirt, his clothes are black. I mean, of all the GNCCs we've done, even the red clay, his clothes are practically ruined. I'm not sure he will ever get them clean again because he had to follow right behind people, and some of this black sand is just ingrained in all his clothes.
Although when we woke up on this Sunday morning, it was really early and it was kind of cool out. By the time we were racing, it was hot. Kids were throwing up all over the place. I felt like I was going to throw up at one point. I mean, at the end of the race, I went in the shade instead of waiting in the sun by the podium. I just needed a break.
So as you may know, this takes place in an ORV park that's open year-round, and you could ride these trails whenever you want. As a matter of fact, some of Ryder's friends said they were riding today, which is Monday, these trails, having a good time on them. But I would be scared as hell to ride these trails because I don't think they're arrowed one direction, and you can't see what's around the turns. So I don't know how hard you can hit them, but I guess people take their chances. So if you see us at the races, you could just say you watch our videos and remind us if we don't say anything back to you that we have some free hats and some old gear. Might not be the cleanest gear, but the hats are definitely in great shape, and they're just old sponsor hats, so they're not like Team Sigety or anything, and we'd be happy to give them to you.
So the rider in front of me is Lincoln Bishop. So I caught back up to him. It took about half a lap, a little less. And now we're in a four-way battle between Lincoln Bishop, Colby Goodman, Mason Sakanikas, and me. Starting with Mason, then Colby, Lincoln, and then I am in last right now. But Colby is not in our class. He actually started in YXC2, so I'm still in third place for my class.
So this is going to be a good battle between Ryder and Lincoln because, and that's Lincoln right there in front of him in blue, because Ryder and him battled last year, and Lincoln got him last year as well too. He's got some really good sand skills. He's a really good rider altogether, but he got some really good sand skills. He lives about an hour from the track in Florida, and him and his family are really nice, and it's good to see some friendly battling going on.
Yeah, even though we're like fighting for a pretty, I'd say prestigious championship, I was having a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie in this race battling with Lincoln. And right here you see he makes a great pass, really fast around the outside of the 115 rider on the KTM. And now for I think the third time, Lincoln and I are split, and I'm gonna have to get around this 115 rider and then cash back up to Lincoln. And I actually get held up for a pretty long time, but I get around him on this straightaway. He gets a little caught up with the lapper. And I'm making my way back up to the top riders in the class.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive that you made the pass there on that Sand Sugar straightaway because we run a fairly stock motor. As we told some people before, we run Boys and Reeds, FMF Shorty, and the Recluse clutch for traction, and it goes the bike. We definitely don't feel like we're at a power deficit.
Yeah, so I kind of cut off some of the video there because of the mud in the camera, but I did end up passing Mason Sakanikas. He's the one that got the mud on the camera. So I get around him, and so did Lincoln. He's in front of me. So it's now a battle, first and second to the end. I think we're about halfway through the race right now, too.
So if you're new to Ryder's channel, we have some videos of other GNCC races. We have some videos of National Enduro, some videos of J-Day. And so please not only like, but if you subscribe, you'll be notified when we make new videos. And we hope you enjoy them. They're all very family friendly, and trust your kids watching them that there's not going to be anything offensive. So I don't know if you're an AMA member or not, but if you are and you get the AMA magazine, Ryder was actually in it as the Racer Spotlight, and it was a pretty interesting article about how he still goes to public school, which is very rare for the top finishers in their classes. Most people living down south in conditions where they can ride all the time, and I thought it was a pretty good article, so check it out. It's also online on the AMA website. Wow, that girl almost took you out.
Yeah, I tried to take a line to the whoa, I tried to take a line to cut off that turn a little bit, and the girl came at me kind of not knowing that I was there, and we almost had a collision. But it worked out in my favor in the end, because now I'm back up to Lincoln, and we are battling to the end for this one. We're close to the end.
Yeah, you guys went back and forth a couple times. Unfortunately, some mud on the lens doesn't show you all the battles, but it's a tight course, so you really can't tell, but it was definitely a good race between the two of you.
So coming up is that straightaway that we were talking about earlier, the one break straightaway in the whole course, and the break in it being so wide and flat also makes it the best place to pass. From here, I know that I have to go as fast as I can to get out of his sight, and I'm just pushing really hard right now.
Yeah, so now, Ryder, you are in first place, and we decided to do the gas stop a little bit on the early side here, and some people decided not to gas, which is a little crazy to me because this is a really sand-sucking, gas-sucking course, but they did say they were going to make it a couple minutes on the shorter side, so we decided to not take a chance, and we stopped for gas, and we know some people try to take a chance, and they didn't stop for gas, and they ran out. And unfortunately, when Ryder stopped, that's when we did get past, but you'll see the pit stop in a minute, and it definitely was not the quickest pit stop, so I'm on the phone already with IMS talking about a dry break, and unfortunately, Ryder could not make up that gap. You did catch him, and you did battle, but he put down some hot laps, and that was all she wrote as far as your results. But he did not stop, and look how much gas he finished with. And that was a gamble, and it worked out good for him.
Yeah, as in you mean Lincoln didn't stop, and that was Lincoln's tank. Yeah, you see how little Lincoln had left in the tank there?
So in case you don't understand what the first, second, and third line is, the first two lines are allowed to use up to a 112cc motor, and the third line is only allowed to use an 85cc motor. And on this day, Ryder finished 8th overall, which means there was one rider on our line faster than him, and 6 riders on the line in front of him that were faster than him for this day. So you'll see here in a second, he catches back up to Lincoln, and the battle ensues. Is that him right there? Right here? Is it? Yeah. Bad eyes. Yeah. So when you think about it, if there was, let's say, 6 or 7 riders on the lines ahead of him total that beat him and Lincoln, there's probably a couple of those riders there that had a pretty good advantage of not having to deal with an extra line of racers to pass. So that puts him and Lincoln maybe in top 4, let's say, I'm guessing, for the day. Now, I do know there were some other very fast riders that ran out of gas, so there's always, you could say, if this happened, that happened. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? If you want to start back a little farther back, then you're going to get the benefits of maybe having not to deal with people with faster motors, but then you have to also deal with more traffic.
So in a little bit, I mean, I was following Lincoln for about a lap here, kind of on his tail, but I make a mistake, and it may or may not have cost me the race, but the GoPro kind of gets broken there, and I just wanted to talk about what happens after the GoPro gets knocked off of my chest. So I get up from the crash, and I make my way back up to Lincoln. I follow him for about another lap or two, and on the last lap, I started to run a little bit I got a little tired, let's say, and Lincoln just put down one of his best laps. He did really great in that last lap, put down a solid lap, and he dropped me. So I ended up in second by over 10 seconds. I'm not actually sure how much. So that's you. Oh, that kid fell. You just saw right there. But the crash comes pretty soon, and I just wanted to explain so we have time, so you guys know what happens right here.
So your GoPro broke off in the crash.
Yeah, you'll see it's like all upside down. It actually stayed connected to my shirt the whole time though. But thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you watch the podium speech and me fist bumping some people in the finish after that. You might even be in there. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Second place, Ryder Sigety. Ryder, how was your day, buddy?
It definitely could have gone better since I'm in second, but I'd say compared to the other times I've been at Florida, this was definitely a little bit of a better one. I mean, I gave it everything I had, a little bit of a screw up in the pit stop, but I don't think it really would have changed our race. And I rode as good as I can, and this is where I ended up. So,
Well, good deal. Who would you like to thank?
my dad, my mom, Yamaha, Kenda, Sycra, VP, Moose, Factory Connection, Wheelworks, IMS, Regina, EBC, Hammer Nutrition, White Scout, Recluse, Moto USA, and Scott.
All right, everybody, that's your second place, Ryder Sigety.
Yeah, Ryder!